9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Happy Monday, everybody. Have no fear. Your timeless elite and your PR princess of WWT is here with you today. You know, this is the Monday after SummerSlam. Lots to cover, lots of recap happening right now, but I am not alone, because I am very excited to have a familiar face to WWT. You know her from WoW. She did the watch along for WWE Unreal, and I'm happy for her to cover the fallout with me. It's Christina.
Hello. I got here just in time. I was like,
yes, you did. Happy Monday.
I was running.
You were.
Happy Monday.
How are you?
Doing good. Coming off the SummerSlam high.
Yeah, I think everybody's coming off to the SummerSlam high. So much has happened. Honey was in the building. I couldn't attend SummerSlam in person. I had to handle WrestleCon over the weekend, but I will talk about that later.
I want to hear all about it.
Yes, but before we even get into SummerSlam and everything else, we actually do have a birthday today. We want to send a happy birthday to Blake Monroe. It is her birthday today, because I did see it on socials. So we do want to wish her a happy little birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes, and obviously enough, I always have a story to tell, because there's always a story behind the photos. So if you've seen the photo, I actually had the chance to meet her when she was formerly known as Mariah. But I definitely want to wish a shout out to her, and she's living the life. She was in AEW for a bit, and that one of the most popular storylines of AEW with Toni Storm, and now she's starting to live out her dream in WWE in NXT. And Christina, you got any thoughts on Miss Blake Monroe, and what do you think of her run in NXT so far?
I like it, and I want to see more of it.
All right.
That's all.
That's all. That's all. But we want to wish a happy birthday to Blake Monroe. Dylan, Toni Storm's my client, but today is Blake Monroe's birthday. It is her birthday today, so it's an exception. So wanted to send happy birthday wishes to Blake Monroe on her special day. But since that's out of the way, we got SummerSlam we got to cover. And as you know, it was the first two-night SummerSlam, Saturday and Sunday. We're just going to go over the recap for night 1 of Saturday. Of course, we kicked off the show with the Braun Breaker. Yeah, it's like the Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed taking on Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. And it was definitely a good way to kick off the show. I mean, Jay got the crowd riled up as usual.
They did a redo.
Yes.
They did it again.
They did a redo. There was so much happening in that match. I did see the Braun Bronx do a little homage to the Steiner brothers. I was just like, oh, they did a playbook of the Steiner brothers. And then, of course, we saw Roman and Jay do the 1D.
The what? Not the 3D.
1D.
Or 1D.
So
I did like that.
It did, but Christina, did you actually like this match?
I did, and I was one of the ones I was really excited to watch. So I enjoyed the whole thing. I enjoyed the Brawns. I also enjoyed Roman and Jay. I don't know if selfishly, but I was going for Roman and Jay, so I'm really glad it went in that direction. Who are you going for on this one?
I was actually going for the Brawns in this match, because I thought at least they would pick up a win, and also with the fact, like, after SummerSlam, Roman is taking a break because he's doing a movie, so I figured, okay, this could be a really good night for them. But unfortunately, during the match, it looked like after the match, Braun Breaker was limping a bit, and hopefully it's not too serious of an injury, but it's not the last time we see him, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But that was a way to kick off SummerSlam. And just going over a few highlights, we have new women's tag team champions. The unlikely duo of Alexa Bliss and Charlotte beating Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez.
I did not expect this. I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know if I was. It is the interesting pairing we have here. I'm really excited to see how they go because I feel like they're both super competitive, so I feel like they're going to be both going for like the spotlight. And I was hoping for the match to be a little longer.
Yeah, I actually did enjoy this match. I mean, everybody was cheering for Charlotte, but Alexa Bliss got the bigger pop. I'm just saying. She got the bigger pop. And it was so nice to see them like collide because I was very nervous because apparently there was a miscommunication between the two of them because I think Charlotte might have or Alexa hit one of them in the face. And I was like,
I was like, ooh, she's gonna get mad.
She's gonna get mad, and Roxanne and Raquel are gonna walk away, but they overcame the odds, and we have new women's tag team champions. And this is gonna be a question because after the loss, and Dylan kind of put in my next question with Liv Morgan, what's gonna happen with the Justin Day? What's gonna happen with Raquel and Roxanne?
Right. I mean, Liv's gonna come back. They don't have no belts, don't have no gold. She's gonna be like, what? Like, I leave for a second and we don't have anything. I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, hi, cousin Ron. Well, just to let you know, Honey was in the building. I was not because I had to take care of responsibilities at WrestleCon, but Honey was there with her husband, and I'm pretty sure we'll hear from her later this week, but from the stories I had, they had a wonderful time. But congratulations to Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, you new women's tag team champions. Oh my goodness.
Congratulations.
Now, this was really interesting because we saw Karrion Kross take on Sami Zayn. And a lot of people thought Karrion Kross was going to pick up the win, but shockingly enough, Sami Zayn picked up the win. Shocking. And it wasn't even that. It was just the after effects because we know a couple earlier this month or a month or two ago, we know Scarlett and Karrion Kross's contracts will be up by the end of this month and have heard silence. So Christina, what do you think will be next for Karrion Kross?
Gosh, I hope he stays. Also, I hope for Honey's sake. I know how Honey feels about Karrion Kross, but I also thought I was going to go to Karrion. So I was actually I was like, oh, I'm not mad at Sami winning, but I also was like, maybe they're trying to either make us think he's not going to sign a new contract. I don't know.
But it's a possibility. And I think Dylan put on a point there. Like, I would not be shocked if he did like do it under the rug, similar to what we thought with R-Truth, because we thought R-Truth was going to be released, but then soon off. So I would not be shocked if he did it under the rug and get a new deal and trying to play everybody out saying, oh, their contracts are up. But
and I agree with Dylan. We could push Scarlett too.
Yeah, I know a lot of people has been pushing Scarlett because she's no joke in the ring, but very curious on what is. And trust me, it's not the only time we're going to reference Karrion Kross because he was referenced a lot in night 2, which we will get into that. We also got to see Tiffany Stratton retain the WWE Women's title against Jade Cargill. And this match, it was a little, how can I say this in a way? It was very, I don't want to say sloppy, but it was botched in a way.
It wasn't the most elegant. I don't know. I don't have a good word.
Yeah, it was because I think there was some miscues that if you saw the match, because at least we thought the shoulders were down and the pin was a little bit off. And also, this was not only Jade's first SummerSlam, it's also Tiffany's.
Was it hers too?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I love me some Jade, but it's hard for me to go against Tiffy time. So selfishly, I think I was going for Tiffy, but I don't think it's the last we're gonna see of Jade. She's definitely gonna be back.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be the last time we see Jade. And I'm not going to blame both of these ladies, but it was a little bit messy throughout the whole match. And I felt like they both could have deserved a lot more better, especially with the fact it's one of the few times. But it's hard to say. But I hope, because I don't think it'll be the last time, to we see Jade, but congratulations to Tiffany Stratton. She is still your women's champion, and we're gonna see what is next for her on SmackDown this week. And we also, another surprising one, Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre picked up a win against Randy Orton and Jelly Roll.
I thoroughly enjoyed Jelly Roll.
We got to see his wife at ringside.
We got to see his wife distraught. But I think so. It was really entertaining. I really like to see Jelly Roll, but I did feel like I felt like it was gonna go to Logan Paul and Drew. I really did. I was just like, ooh.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting to see, but I did like the sign that says Logan Paul is an outsider. They had signs in the front row, and Jelly
Roll,
my
gosh. He did his little thing.
Oh goodness, Jelly Roll has no respect for his body. Well, Dylan, you did mention that because Jelly Roll took some nasty bumps, especially on the announcer's desk, and we all thought, oh my goodness,
I loved it.
Is it going to be 2-on-1? And then he came back in the ring. I did not think this match was going to last long. I thought at least it would be like no more than 8 to 10 minutes, but according to Boza, this actually got 17 minutes.
It was long. I was like, all right, where?
It was a little bit long. I was very surprised they put it on second to last. I thought at least they would put it in the middle of the show. So,
okay.
But your winners are Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. They got the win, but it probably won't be the last time we see Jelly Roll. It won't be the last time, especially on the press conference that he did on night one. Yes. So I guess congratulations to Drew McIntyre, and gotta send congratulations to Logan.
You gotta
Paul.
send congratulations, and the prime is just so
it's
like
just
front and center. It's like gets me every time. It's almost funny at this point.
You would think it is, but I'm very curious on what the drink's like because I don't drink it, but I'm very curious whoever drinks it, how it tastes.
Let us know. Is Prime actually good? Because Logan is he's really selling it. He's really selling it.
Yes. And Boza, thank you for that because we will get into that after we recap SummerSlam because there's a lot to say. But that's not the only thing. We ended the night with CM Punk versus Gunther, and that was a hard-fitting match between those two.
Ooh.
And that was the first time I ever seen Gunther bleed. One of the few times.
Right?
One of the few times I've ever seen him bleed. But we all thought we all thought SummerSlam was going to be over. CM Punk finally got the belt. He's champion. He's having his moment in his glory.
We're crying with him.
But that's not how it ends because we got an appearance from Seth freaking Rollins because we all thought, he was injured, but
apparently
he fooled everybody. He fooled everyone, and he even said it best. He wants to ruin CM Punk's life and wants to make sure he is never ever champion again. He cashed in his money in the bank. 1, 2, 3, and your new champion right here, folks.
There was a roller coaster of emotions because I was still congratulating CM Punk in my mind when Seth comes out. So I was not expecting, but I feel like particularly with the new Unreal show, it's like you almost don't. I feel like it adds even more mystique. Like you really don't know. Like we really thought that he was injured, and now he drops his crutches, and now he's back in.
Yeah, it was very interesting, and I was very surprised. Well, I'm not surprised, but then it's like, wait, it's the biggest party of the summer. I don't think he would miss this. I don't think so. But seeing him in crutches,
Becky.
Yeah, but they showed the clip of Becky backstage because she was like looking in the back and saying, "Oh my goodness." I mean, can't go wrong with that. I mean, 10 years ago he pulled the heist of the century, and this is like the pettiness of the century because as much as we know he doesn't like CM Punk, he wants to ruin everything that he has. And he was also on the Rich Eisen show today. I didn't get a chance to listen or watch it, but I'll watch it probably after we're done here. But Seth Rollins is the champion.
And I agree with Boza. I wonder if Seth was really hurt, but it just wasn't as bad as it was. Like they just held it on. Because I'm like, I'm intrigued.
That is very intriguing because if you saw the clip from Saturday Night's Main Event, you would thought at least if you landed on your knee,
he probably got a little. He had to have been injured.
Because I was like landing on your knee and it looked pretty nasty because I was like, oh man. Because usually for stuff like I never suffered a knee injury, but seeing how they land, it just seemed very gruesome. And the way the trainers and everybody else was looking at him, I was just like, oh
yeah. I think it probably turned out to be not as bad. So they're like, let's milk this since everyone saw how bad it looked. But now when people get injured, people are just going to be like, are you really injured? Are you really that bad injured? I feel like people are not going to even believe when people are injured or not.
Yeah, that's a question. That's a question that always has a little bit of concern because I'm pretty sure people thought when Liv Morgan was injured, she landed on herself. And I was like, no, she's really hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because she kept grabbing it and it really did hurt her. And the trainers and physicians had to carry her in the back.
Mm-hmm.
But Christina, I wanted to give your overall on what did you overall think of night one of SummerSlam?
Overall, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching the Bronze. I enjoyed the new women's tag team champions. I enjoyed Tiffy time. I think it was good. I think if there was any match that I was like, I'm not sure about, would have been I think we had talked about the Tiffy time and Jade being a little cleaner, maybe a little longer too, would be my only thing. But I enjoyed it overall.
I think it was solid night one. I mean, of course, it wasn't polished, Tiffany and Jade, and I think both ladies should have deserved better. But I think night one did what everything needed to do. Of course, we got to see Seth cash it in. Very few times I've ever seen Gunther get bloodied in the face, and him and CM Punk delivered a really good solid match. Also, Jay brought in the crowd, and also we got to see Cardi B come out of the crowd. We got to see her come out for a bit. Christina, just quick thoughts of what you think of Cardi B, because it looked like she only hosted one night.
Yeah, I was hoping it was going to be 2 nights, but her entrance was it. I am a big Cardi B fan. Her outfit was amazing. I don't know if that's a new song that she's gonna bring out because I haven't heard that song that she's coming out to before. So I'm like, was that like a premiere? She's so funny to me. I love her.
She is. It just would have been nice if she had like a backstage segment, because I noticed they don't do backstage segments anymore for pay-per-views. That would have been kind of cool to see her have a backstage segment with either like Jay before her match, or even like her and Bianca could have.
Oh my god!
Or like maybe her and Naomi could have an interaction backstage, even though it was night one. It could be, but we shall see on that. Don't worry, MDB. We're gonna get into that a little bit later. I know everybody's like,
well, I know. I thought she was gonna host, and she just like,
that's what I thought.
Up. And I was like, wait, I thought it was gonna be like you know when the Miz hosts, it's like you're seeing him like throughout the night.
We did. Well, unfortunately, and to be fair, Dylan, because they did advertise this a couple months prior, because Cardi B said she was going to be the host of the first ever 2-night SummerSlam, and we saw the commercials coming out, the promotions.
And I thought she was going to be part of a match too, because she said she was going to like elbow somebody. I thought there was going to be some sort of interaction.
Well, lots of things can happen in the last minute, and we probably don't know what happens backstage. So, but that pretty much concludes night one. And for me, I will give it a 7.5 out of 10. It did what it could, checked all the boxes, and did what it needed to do. So that was pretty much night one. And we're pretty much going to get into night two of SummerSlam. I actually put this photo in from Seth from his socials. That's actually an iconic photo right there.
That's kind of a cool photo, I'm not going to lie.
It is. It's a really cool photo. And congratulations to Seth Rollins on winning and being the new World Heavyweight Champion. And we're just going to get into night two of SummerSlam. And it kicked off with the ladies. It kicked off with the ladies, Naomi, Eio Sky, and Rhea Ripley. But this particular moment, it was so good. Well, what photo are you talking about? I think either Seth one.
The one with Seth where he was like this.
I know. I was like, that's pretty much a good photo. Whoever's the photographer for that. But, you know, Naomi, Eio Sky, Rhea Ripley. But this photo in particular, because we got to see Naomi's dad play the guitar in her entrance.
That was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
It was very cool having that father-daughter moment. And just, I know she's supposed to be in character, but I know she was happy to see her dad at her side. And just seeing that, and I was happy the fans were going for Naomi. And it was a good, solid match between all three of these ladies. Rhea Ripley, Eio Sky, Naomi, they all delivered. They kicked off the show and did what it needed to do. And shockingly enough, well, not shocker, but still your women's champion, Naomi, she picked up the pin over Rhea Ripley.
I felt like it was going to be between Naomi and Eio. As much as I am going for mommy all the time, I was like, she can't win this one too. Like, I know in my heart she can't win everything as much as I want her to. So I knew it wasn't going to go to Rhea, but I loved the match as a whole. And it was between, but so I'm really glad that it was Naomi that kept it.
Yeah, this was a really good match. I was very happy all three of these ladies showed up. And it's really funny because Naomi and Michael Cole caught this because she was doing a little bit of homework from her quote-unquote friend, Bianca Belair, because she was watching their match where it provided a little hindsight 2020 in the match that she had with Rhea and Eio at WrestleMania this year.
Yes, and Dylan, mommy being pinned rightfully so. Look, I know she can't win everything.
She can't. And I think a lot of people would have been more upset if Eio took the pin.
Yes. I included.
Yeah, I think a lot of people a lot of people would have been upset if Eio was the one that took the pin, because a lot of people do love Eio.
Naomi got it. She's on fire right now. So I was like, you know what? I'm glad that they have that fire. She's gonna keep going. She's doing really well. They have her dad out here. She looks great. I love her promos. So keep on going, Naomi.
And she was really good on the post show as well, because even though she was in character, she did give props to Rhea and Eio Sky. She did give props to them. And I did like the photo where Rhea and Eio took with her dad.
I didn't see it. Wait, do you have it? Wait, let me look at Eio and.
Yeah, it was posted on socials, and I thought that was really funny.
Naomi's dad. Hold on, let me look out real quick. Oh wait.
Yes.
Oh wait, that's so funny.
It was too funny.
Team, if y'all chat, if y'all have not seen that picture, it's really cute actually.
It is really, really cute. But we want to send congratulations to Naomi on retaining, and she will be facing off against Stephanie Vaquer at Clash in Paris the end of this month.
So, as much as I love Naomi, I am a Stephanie Vaquer fan through and through. So, I'm sorry to say, but that's who I'm going to be going with.
I know a lot of people are going for Stephanie, but I would like Naomi to continue her reign. It just really, really is fun to watch. I know it's going to be a clash.
It's going to be neck and neck. It's going to be neck and neck, but I'm a Vaquer fan through and through. So I'm really excited for that.
And yes, Boza, it is official. 2 p.m. Eastern start time, the end of this month. Clash in Paris. Stephanie Vaquer, Naomi for the Women's World Championship match. And that is going
Thank
to
you,
be
Maria. Shout out Maria, who's also a Stephanie Vaquer. There's something up. She is just amazing. And I'm just so intrigued.
She just has that
something
aura
about her.
She has
I need to get
aura.
that little headband with the things.
She has that aura. She just has that aura and has that presence.
Neck and neck, MD.
Yes, neck and neck.
Not Big Ed. They both have necks though. So
oh my god, don't mess with Ish like that. Come on now. But congratulations again, Naomi. Oh, and of course I had to do photo. I know, and TK is not even here, and I was like, I'm supporting Naomi.
Look, TK. We're supporting
Okay.
Naomi.
I gotta talk about this match. Tables, ladders, and chairs match. Insanity. It was the 25th anniversary of the first TLC match at SummerSlam 2000. It was at Raleigh, North Carolina. We also got to see at ringside the Dudley Boys and the Hardys.
The Hardys, who have the best match of all time.
Yes, it was really fun, and we got to see a TLC match, and I will say it delivered everything that you needed to be. And I will say this as somebody that loves tag team wrestling and was very interested in these types of matches. It just really brought a presence in the spirit of SummerSlam 2000. Even go back to like WrestleMania 2000, because even though it wasn't, and this is where I'm going to do Disney a bit, because there's a prequel.
Love Disney.
Yeah, I'm doing like a Disney on The Little Mermaid, because The Little Mermaid had a prequel where WrestleMania 2000, it had a triangle ladder match. And that was where all 6 of the teams made their debuts at WrestleMania. And that was the match that sold the show. One of the matches that sold the show at that pay-per-view. Then, of course, you had the motion picture with SummerSlam 2000, the first ever TLC match. That was like The Little Mermaid, the main picture. And then you had the sequel, where The Little Mermaid had the sequel, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2 at WrestleMania 17. And that's where it made me really think of it. And I was saying this to myself. I was sitting in the back. I said, wouldn't that be cool if B-Fab, Candice LeRae, and Nikki Cross interfered in this match? And surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. And yeah, MDB, you can't forget about that match. That was one of the best matches.
I think that is my favorite match of all time, to be honest.
That was a really
2000.
match. Yep, WrestleMania 2000. But I was so happy to see all 3 of these ladies, because if you did not watch the first TLC match, Lita was the first female to be in that match. And she had a presence in there, and she took bumps. And I got to give credit to my poison little pixie. She is a trooper. She went through a table, and I was just like,
she sure did.
She did. And this is not her first rodeo. If you saw her in the independent scene, you've seen her wrestling, you know how it is. But Christina, I just want to get your thoughts on this TLC match. What did you really think overall when you watched the entire match?
This match was just it was just like so much going on from like start to finish. There was never just like a lull. Like once you think there's a lull, there's someone that's coming out the corner. So this one was really really intense. Ciampa, am I saying correctly? Ciampa. We saw his core strength. Ciampa. I was like, sorry, we saw his core strength. I don't know why that was one of my favorite parts, but I was just very impressed by that when they tried to spear him while he was hanging from the belt, and then he just lifted himself up.
I know, it was crazy. Like Ciampa had the athleticism, and you had the flashbacks, because when they did the stack of tables and when DIY went through the tables, it made me think of WrestleMania 17 when Bubba and Matt Hardy went through those towers of tables.
Oh my goodness.
And then Ciampa was like with Jeff Hardy. He was hanging in for WrestleMania 17. And I thought Nathan Frazier was going to spear him the same way Edge did, but that didn't happen. But it definitely showed a lot of throwback in there. And everybody was freaking out about Candice LeRae. I was like, I hope she's okay. I'm like,
she'll be fine.
She'll be fine. She's a trooper. I mean, this is not the first time we've seen a female, because everybody's freaking out like, oh my God, a female under this match. Go watch the first 2 TLCs. Lita was in it.
Lita's been in the matches.
Yeah. So we'll explain why. But it was definitely one of the best matches of night 2. We also got to see the White Six retain the tag team titles, but congratulations to all the participants in that wild and memorable TLC match. We also had this match. Lyra Valkyria, Becky Lynch for the women's Intercontinental title. And we found out what the stipulation was before the match. If Lyra had to lose, she could not challenge for the Intercontinental women's title as long as Becky is champion. But Christina, I just want to get your thoughts overall on what did you think of these 2 ladies?
This was scrappy, and I liked it. It was scrappy. There was a lot of when she put Becky put the chain in Lyra's mouth and was like pulling it. When the kendo stick, but then the not the what's the metal thing? It's not a crossbow. Crossbar. And they pulled it out. Like this was pretty intense. I think this one was gonna go either way for me. I did not know it was gonna be Becky for sure, because I feel like Lyra was like really putting in a lot of energy and putting a lot in this match.
This is sleeper match of the night for me.
Really? I love it.
It was sleeper match. I don't want to say it was the best match, but this was sleeper match because this was a good match. And also for me, because I don't think many people, I want to say people did expect it, but this was a really good match between these ladies. And I say sleeper match of the night because it was a really good match. And also with the fact too, Lyra really showed that she can be in the ring. And Wade Barrett actually said something on commentary because he kept calling Lyra Valkyria a pretender. And it made me go back to football season because I'm a huge football fan. And this is when it gets closer to the postseason. And this is where they separate because people are fighting for playoff seeds or whatever. You have to separate yourselves from contenders and pretenders. Lyra shows that she's a contender. She's a very serious contender and continue building off the confidence, her character development, anything that you would. So for me, I am very proud of Lyra Valkyria. She put on a very solid match, and especially doing a moonsault where she had her hands tied to a zip lock, which
was a zip tie. Yeah,
it was a zip tie. She did it. She did a moonsault. She took so many serious pumps, and I have to give her a round of applause. Lyra Valkyria. She deserves a round of applause. But also, that was not the only thing that happened during the night because we got an appearance from Bayley.
I knew she was. I was like, she has to come. She has to come out. But Bayley, then we had a little oopsie.
Yes, we had a little bit of an oopsie because we all thought because Becky was pressuring Bayley to hit Lyra with it, saying, do it. And Bayley
like, she's not gonna do it. Bayley's not gonna do it.
So, but unfortunately, there was a miscue, and Becky Lynch came out as the winner. She's still the women's Intercontinental Champion, which the stipulation means Lyra cannot challenge for the title as long as Becky's champion. So, where do you think
champion for much longer?
Yeah, and Christina, I want to ask you a question because where do you think what is next for Lyra Valkyria?
There has to be some sort of loophole that she's going to find. Some sort of loophole where she doesn't directly challenge, or maybe Becky somehow accidentally doesn't keep it for that long and then she can challenge the new person again. I don't know, but I feel like she is she's just starting. I feel like she's definitely going to be going on up. Does she go to SmackDown?
That's going to be very hard to do with SmackDown because they need to build up for that women's Intercontinental title because the only other person is Ivy Nile, and she's been with American Made. Excuse me, and also with the fact too on SmackDown, they still have to work out for the women's United States title because, of course, Julia, which she has the returning Kiana James in her corner, and I think I don't know what's going to happen with Zelina Vega as well, but I think they need to continue building that. So it's good to keep Lyra on Raw and also just continue building up the roster for the women's Intercontinental title. I do see Becky and Bayley meeting. I know people really want to rush this for Clash in Paris, but for some odd reason, I see this could be, I was going to say Clash in Paris, but I feel like this could be a story that they could tell for Survivor Series.
Ooh.
Because technically we're kind of on the road to Survivor Series and SummerSlam is done.
That's true.
We're on the road to Survivor Series and really thinking how cool would it be for them to meet? Because yeah, you have Clash in Paris, you do have Crown Jewel in Australia, but it would be cool to have them meet in Survivor Series since it's the final Big Four of 2025.
That'd be a good one. There's some excuse me, there's some discussion in the chat.
I know there's discussion. Does the legend step out to Becky? That's an interesting question because we got to see Trish Stratus come back and face Tiffany Stratton.
Right. And so then if Trish Stratus goes up against Becky, I don't know. There's so many possibilities that I'm just like, there's going to be a loophole where Lyra is going to end up with the title.
Yes, that's going to be, but like I said, I do see Bayley and Becky meeting. If it's not like at Survivor Series, it could be before Survivor Series. So there is a possible loophole because, as I mentioned, Lyra can't challenge for the title as long as Becky's champion.
So what does she do in the meantime?
Well, we will talk about Raw a little bit later, and also congratulations to Becky Lynch. Congratulations to her.
Congrats.
She's still the Intercontinental Champion, and also she had a new theme song. She had a new theme song. Yes, she did. Quick thoughts. What did you think of her theme song?
I like it. I wasn't wowed, but it wasn't like bad. I like it. It's good.
Yeah. Well, actually, MD, just to be fair with Lash Legend, because I don't know if you've been following NXT, she actually is going to be in a feud with Nia Jax. So Lash Legend's going to be in a feud there. And actually, Dylan, oh yeah, I know you're talking about the commercial with Maybelline because they have one, but they did a social post on Maybelline on a Lash Legend. It's on socials, but I get what you're saying with the commercial because it had Zelina, Nikki, Bianca. Yeah. So, but
yeah,
we shall see. Oh, and we also had this match, the steel cage match between Jade and Solo Sikoa.
The winner.
Yeah, it really did. It was a physical one, and Jacob, he wanted to beat the crap out of Solo. He didn't even care if he wanted to escape through the cage. He just wanted to beat him. But of course, we did have interference from the NMFT, and the winner of this match is still champion Solo Sikoa.
Solo, but Jacob was extremely. Jacob Fatu and has like the most. I don't know. It's like he's like so like with his promos, he's like so nice, but he's also so scary. I don't know how he does both so well. But he just wanted to beat him up. He just wanted to beat. He was like, I don't even care who wins. He just wanted to put his hands on him.
And the crazy part about this match, they tried to handcuff him. He ripped that open and did a moonsault. He did a moonsault, like on the top of the cage.
I feel like moonsault wise, I feel like Jacob Fatu and Tiffy Time have like the prettiest moonsaults. Those people are my favorite moonsaults.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I have to give credit. And we also get to see Big Jim come to the aid of Solo Sikoa. So it's only a matter of time because I know TK's been pushing for war games between both bloodlines. She's been pushing it, but we will continue on that, but saying congratulations to Solo Sikoa on retaining. And we also had this match between Dominic Mysterio and AJ Styles in celebration of a match that actually happened at SummerSlam 20 years ago between Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, and the winner had custody of Dominic. And I just love the reference that they had on Eddie Guerrero throughout this match. Like Dom, of course, paying homage to Eddie, and even with AJ Styles coming in with a lowrider, homage to Eddie Guerrero. Christina, I just want your thoughts, like overall thoughts on this match between these two.
It just made me smile throughout the whole match. When AJ came out in the lowrider and he's wearing the Latino Heat shirt, I was like, okay, this is gonna be something. I thought Ray was maybe gonna come out to like do add a little bit to the match, but even so, I was still happy with the match. I felt like it was gonna go to Dom. He's the people's Mysterio. Enough said.
The people's Mysterio. I will say it was really fun that they paid homage to Eddie Guerrero, because you did to see the little bits of spirit within Latino heat, and also with the match that happened 20 years ago to SummerSlam 2005. Those two definitely delivered a match. I was very happy to see both of them. And Dominic, he's comes, even though Dominic is a dirtbag, he is starting to come on his own. He's starting to come on his own and really proving that he is the Intercontinental Champion. He doesn't have to do exactly what his dad does, even though he calls his father a deadbeat. But he's coming out.
If that's his truth, then that's his truth. I can't tell him what's his truth.
Well, unfortunately, because Ray is on the sideline. Unfortunately, he's injured. But I'm very curious what's going to happen, because Finn and JD have the titles. Dominic's still Intercontinental Champion. But we don't have Raquel and Roxanne, and they lost the belts. So what do you think the dynamic is going to be like in the Judgment Day?
I feel like they're going to... they're just such on high horses when everyone had gold. I just feel like there's gonna be a riff. I feel like it's a cause for a riff for sure, particularly among this special group.
Yeah, I think there is a possibility, because when they have gold, they're on top and they're everything. But if somebody loses gold, it's like it goes sideways. And also for the fact too, Dominic has a big match in AAA, because he's going for the big one.
True. He's going for a triple Mania.
I mean, could you imagine if he was double champion?
I would. He is the people's Mysterio. So I feel like that would only be fitting, to be honest. Like, thank you, Dylan, the greatest luchador of all time.
The greatest. I'm pretty sure if Councilman was here, he would love you for that, Dylan.
Congratulations, Mysterio, and
congratulations to Dominic Mysterio retaining the Intercontinental title. Very curious on what's going to happen next, and we'll talk about Raw. And then, of course, we have this main event match. It was a gruesome street fight between John Cena, Cody Rhodes. I feel like it was like, when it's a street fight, I expect a street fight.
Like, I expect them in the streets for sure. I wasn't disappointed, but I'm still trying to figure out the angle of Cena going back to his old self, because I don't know how I feel about it. Right now, I don't like it. I thought that was a play, and that was gonna reverse back same day. So now I'm just like, that was a distraction for me the whole match. And then at the end of the match, I was like, no, but heel Cena was the first time I bought Cena merch.
Really?
So I was just like, what I was hoping was when like he was like turning around back to his original, was like he turns around and he's like, and that's how easy it is to get you guys back, like something like that. But no, it just kept going and going and going to SummerSlam, and I'm just like, wait.
It's very interesting, because it's funny you brought up SmackDown, because when he had that baby face turn, I was watching SmackDown and I kept thinking like, wait, he's supposed to be heel. But then it's like all the fans, and it's crazy, when he was heel, even though they were booing, they were still cheering for him.
It's like a cheer boo. It's like a cheer boo, which is fine.
It was like a cheer. It was pretty much a cheer boo in a way, but it was so odd. And yeah, because after this, he has 9 dates. 9 dates left.
Sheesh. I've seen a match of all time.
We'll get into that. That's our wonderful mayor on the chat. But yeah, it was very interesting, because, and even the promo that he did after the heel turn, he was like,
I was still waiting for him to go back to heel the whole time. I'm like waiting. I'm like, okay, no, this is when he does it. This is when he does it. This is when he does it. And crazy. Then just the show is over, and I'm like still sitting in my room like, when is he gonna do it?
And it's crazy, because seeing that, and also the fans were booing Cody. They were booing him.
Dang.
They were booing.
I'm thinking what Dylan's thinking. Maybe a heel Cody.
It's a possibility. I mean,
it's a possibility.
It's so funny because some people on our team, if you've been watching Kayfabe podcast, they've been kind of dropping hints of Cody being heel, but the new champion is Cody Rhodes. He is now a 2-time WWE undisputed champion. And we did see John Cena raise his hand and shared an embrace, and Cody left, and John was in the ring and people were clapping. But that's not how it ended, because shockingly enough, and we did not think it was going to happen, we saw the return of Brock Lesnar.
The beast incarnate is back with his little cowboy hat.
This was really much a shocker because I did not think Brock was going to come back with everything that's been happening behind the scenes. But Christina, just want to get your thoughts on what do you think of the return of Brock Lesnar?
I'm here for it. I feel like maybe this is going to be either helping Cena go back to heel or helping Cody turn heel or something. I want to see him integrated into this. That would be fun to see.
Yeah. So this was actually someone made. Are we really talking about little advice here?
I can't.
I really can't. But
it was a good return overall. It was a good return because I wasn't expecting to see him.
I wasn't expecting to. I wasn't.
Look at the fan in the background. Look how shocked he is.
I know. It's crazy. It is crazy. But Brock is back. I'm very curious what's going to happen left. And John specifically wanted to wrestle Brock Lesnar because if you know the history between these two, this is like going back. I know people want to go back to like 2015, 2016, but you got to go way back to 2003.
Yeah.
Ooh. SmackDown. You got to go back because, that was when SmackDown. I know people were watching Raw when Triple H was doing his Reign of Terror, but this is when you had the SmackDown 6. You also had Kurt Angle and Big Show and Brock Lesnar when he was champion, and then you had another star on the rise with John Cena. And with the fact, too, when the first time, they had met on SmackDown a few times, but one of the first pay-per-views they met was Backlash 2003. For the WWE title. So these guys
you're right.
Way back during Ruthless Aggression era. And this is going to be something to think about. So this was one of his first early feuds when John was coming into WWE. So having that full circle moment, and I will not forget when Brock came back, because this was after he did his MMA stuff, him and Cena got at it, and he broke, I don't want to say he broke his jaw, but Cena's mouth was bloodied. And they had to get the entire roster to come out. But it's going to be very interesting to see with SummerSlam. But Christina, just want to get your overall thoughts on SummerSlam. What did you think?
Overall, great show. Minus the Cena part. Staying face, because that's really bothering me still at this point, but overall good. I want to say my favorite, I'm looking at going back to look at the different I want to say my favorite would probably be watching Jacob Fatu. Night 2 was better for me. I would have said night 1, I would have said like a 6. Night 2 is like a 7.5.
Yeah. For me, I said 7.5 for night 1. For me, I'm going to give it 8.5 out of 10. Well, actually, I should bump it up to 9 because Lyra and Becky stole that show. They did. It was a good match. Lyra and Becky, the TLC match, the Triple Threat Women's match. I mean, of course, like Cody and John, but those were my 3.
Cody and John.
But those are my 3. The TLC match, Becky versus Lyra, and also Naomi, Eio, and Rhea. Like I enjoyed it, and that really put in there. But definitely want to give it a solid. And I was talking about Brock Lesnar. We cannot talk about this enough because if you've been following pretty much not only here, but Janelle Grant's legal team issued a statement regarding Brock Lesnar's return, because if you've been following it, there's been a situation that's been happening. So she put out a statement. Well, actually, a spokesperson for her put out a statement in regards to the lawsuit, because apparently his name's been floating around what's happening with Mr. McMahon. And they put out the statement today. For far too long, abuse was allowed to thrive under WWE's leadership. Instead of righting this wrong, WWE has nothing to ensure that those responsible are held accountable. And the statement further reads, "This attempt to sweep misconduct under the rug will backfire. We look forward to the full set of facts, including those about Mr. Lesnar, coming out in a court of law where they belong. But in the meantime, we refer you back to Janelle Grant's updated complaint, which outlines in detail the abuse she endured by McMahon's and others while employed at WWE." Thoughts?
Interesting. I mean, gosh, I don't know. What my stance is just like, if whatever allegations are proven to be true, it's just hard. But when it's like, it's still, the details are still so ominous. It's like they don't give me enough information, and I think that's on purpose. So I don't know.
This actually kind of ties into our next story, because WWE no longer hosting press conferences after PLE, and
I was like, wait, for good reason?
Yes. Now, Christina, my day job, I do PR and publicist in the day. This is something that's not a surprise to me, because there are so many layers to this story. And it doesn't surprise me that they ended press conferences after PLEs with the investigation that's happening. And also what happened with Triple H going to the White House. That was another conversation. It does not surprise me at all, because this is some of the stuff that it was going to come out sooner or later. But this is where transparency needs to come into play. And especially with the fact, if I was a publicist working for an industry similar to this, I would probably be transparent and just be honest about it. I mean, it's more to it than just thinking, oh, okay, this, and this, because this is something that's not going to go away. This is something that's not going to go under the rug. I mean, we've had stuff in the past. I mean, if you watched the McMahon documentary, we are aware with what's happening, but this is something that's not going to throw under the rug easily. This is something that they're going to have to face. And also with the fact too, if they are going to do press conferences, I would be very strategic on who you bring in that press conference. I would be very strategic, most specifically credibility. Credibility has been a word, because, and this is no shade to some of the other wrestling media outlets, because there has been a lack of integrity and credibility, and especially on socials too, because yes, you want to be professional when you go in person, but also you want to be professional and provide social etiquette on socials
online. Yeah,
that is not going to slide. And if WWE, and this is not a shot at WWE, this is a PSA to all wrestling promotions. If you are wanting to do press conferences or media scrums, you really have to be really mindful on who you bring in the room, and have to make sure that they're not doing it for clicks. They're doing it because they love the content and want to spread shine on it. And also with the fact too, because I'm seeing a lot of major media outlets that are showcasing either WWE, AEW, or TNA, such as Forbes, Variety, Deadline, BET. There are a lot of them, and even if some of them are not familiar with them, it would be great to invite them in the room and at least interact with people who are familiar with that space. That's all I'm saying. So for me, it's very important to really be transparent on a lot of things. And also, it does break my heart a little bit, because I'm very happy to be in a platform that supports women's wrestling, and we want to make sure that we support everybody in the room. And especially with stuff like this, I can't let this slide. I mean, yes, right. I know there have been reports with Brock a couple weeks ago with this, but this is still an ongoing investigation. It's still happening. It's not been in court yet. And for me, it does create a lot of PR disaster, but I don't want to poke fingers at it. I mean, if I was on that PR team, I would really, really think of either a crisis plan or something, because sooner or later, and it's not me being a hater on Triple H, but sooner or later, some of these political antics that are happening, it's really going to catch on. And also, this is where transparency is going to have to come in, because sooner or later, you're going to have some major media outlets that are going to question some of this stuff. And that is where it really gets dicey.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
But yeah, I had to say that out loud because
no, thank you, Courtney, for giving your opinion and spreading the light on this, because then it makes me now question, like, is now the best time for Brock's return? Like, you had to choose now. I don't know.
Yes, and yes, Dylan, I mean, to be fair, there's a difference what Sami said and also this too. So I'm just trying to be fair on this one, because I will say this: if Tony Khan did something similar to this, they would be on his head. So, but I think this is something all wrestling companies really need to consider, especially if you're bringing in PR teams and media. Yeah, they're going to do a lot of shitty things, but this is something that they really need to consider, because if you want transparency, you're going to do stuff that's uncomfortable, and just tell the truth. That's all you need to do, is tell the truth.
Just do it.
That's it. So I'm just going to share my little piece on that. And I'm sure this is going to be a developing story. It's not going to go away. We're going to be very counter on it. So yeah, Boza, I had to rip the Band-Aid off, because
rip it off.
You had to rip it off. So that is SummerSlam. And also, we did find out next year they will be in Minneapolis, Minnesota, for another 2-night SummerSlam. And also, Christina, I want to ask your thoughts on this, because everybody in our chat was not very critical of the 2-night SummerSlam. What is your thoughts overall? Do you think SummerSlam should still be 2 nights, or should it just be 1 night?
So my stance, it's so hard, because there was a time where I was like, I'd make it 5 nights. Like, I just was like, would want like as much as possible. But like now I feel like they're going to add more of the PLEs to be 2 nights. And I just feel like it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. And I just feel like it's too much with, then there's just more of a chance of either not putting like a match, not letting it get to its full potential, or like filler matches just to kind of like make it go longer. Like we can do 1 night.
I do agree. I think for SummerSlam, because WrestleMania, I didn't have a problem with it 2 nights, but since this is SummerSlam, it's your biggest match of the summer, I do think it should be 1 night. I know they tried to do it this year. I'm very curious on how they're going to do it with Minneapolis next year. So that's going to be something to think about today. That's going to be something to think about.
Yeah, and it's about it's a money grab, because because it can be 3 days and we'll all still go.
I know that's going to be very interesting to see, because if some of your big fours are going to be 2 nights, that's also going to be more money out of our pocket. And also we got to start planning. And also with the fact too, I'm very curious on what they're going to do. Like, even if you're not doing press conferences after PLEs, are you still going to do media day?
Exactly.
But a lot of it happening to come. Lots happening. And just a quick little news. I didn't do slides on this, but Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, what the heck?
Oh goodness. I feel like it's like a cycle that's happening. But Rhea Ripley, outside of tweeting that she does not like SummerSlam, apparently she mentioned that a fan showed up at her house on Valentine's Day. She was on an appearance on the Cheap Heat podcast at a SummerSlam weekend media event. WWE Rhea spoke on the importance of setting boundaries with fans, detailing a frightening incident where a fan came to her home. She also discussed her desire to be open about her own struggles to connect with the audience. And she explained why sometimes she has to publicly remind fans to respect their privacy. She mentions, I feel like we have to, because it's like they forget, some of them, not all of them, but some of them do think that they own us because we are on live television weekly. And I don't stand for that. I'm a human being. While everybody has their own space, like go home and relax and not to worry about some random looking through your window or knocking on your door. And then she goes into the incident that happened on Valentine's Day. I had someone rock up on Valentine's Day, this past Valentine's Day. And luckily I was in Australia because like she just stared into my Ring camera. She left like a poem under my doormat saying like, we're the sun and the moon and we're meant to be together. And I was like, if I was home, I would have answered the door and I would have been so uncomfortable. And I don't want to feel uncomfortable in my own damn home.
Stop being weird. Stop being weird, people.
It is very hard. And, you know, I feel like since this is the platform for women's wrestling, we're still going to have to talk about it. We're still going to. And you're lucky Buddy Matthews was not in the house, too.
I know. That's true.
I mean, could you imagine Buddy Matthews coming in and be like, why are you stalking my wife? Why are you stalking my wife?
Like, it's not hard. Don't be weird. Like, I feel like there's many times during the writing of the poem, the driving to her house that were like checks that you could have stopped yourself.
There are just so many things. It's just stop being weird. And even when I was at WrestleCon over the weekend, there were, I mean, I'll get into WrestleCon a little bit later, but it's just crazy how some of them are just so weird to these wrestlers. Like even when I was with my friend who was meeting Mina Shirakana, it was like Mina was so nice, but it was just like, it was just a little bit odd. And even when they were in line for my client, Tony Storm, it was just like,
not your client.
I know. I'm just like, oh boy. But we'll talk about WrestleCon in a little bit. But yeah,
and then they're gonna think we're all like that. We're not all
exactly.
That.
We're not
all weird to like an extent, but like not that kind of weird.
We're not that kind of weird, and it's all you have to do is just go up to them and just be yourself. Like go be yourself and just see what they want. And I can see why a lot of these wrestlers who are still single in the dating market, I could see why they disclose some of this stuff because they don't want to deal with it. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to do. So just stop being weird. But anyways, we go from Rhea to now another favorite of ours, Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green, the inaugural Women's United States Champion. She expressed her frustration that the Women's United States Championship was not a part of this weekend's SummerSlam event. And she was speaking on the Ringer Wrestling show where she shared her disappointment that the title she helped establish is not being featured on the massive 2-night card. She feels the championship has lost some of its momentum since her reign has passed. She quoted saying, "It definitely makes me upset. I feel like I really put in work with that title. So it does make me upset. I feel like I laid the groundwork for this title to mean something. And unfortunately, we've taken a step back from that. But that's not the girls' fault. That's just the fact that there's so much good wrestling right now that we don't even know how to fit it on TV."
I agree with her. Because, like, I feel like PLEs, they're for title matches. They're for title matches. And I feel like, and the card was so big, it was 2 days, and you couldn't put it in. You couldn't put it in 2 days. Like, I don't know.
It is crazy, too, because it was defended the night before SummerSlam on SmackDown.
And I'm like, no, this is a PLE.
I know.
Exactly. The Sami and Carrie did not need to be on the PLE. That was so just like a SmackDown match.
Well, I know
like
Honey. I know Honey was happy to see Carrie and Cross. I know.
That's why I shout out to Honey. no shade to Carrie, but like the title need to be on a PLE. Like that was like a good main event regular week match.
Yes, I mean, I do agree with Chelsea because I feel like since they started getting the mid-card titles for women's. I mean, it took a while for the Women's Intercontinental Championship to finally get on PLE, but now we're starting to get somewhere. I would like to see the Women's United States title, because before we were talking about this earlier this year on how come the Women's Intercontinental title is not getting the same treatment when Chelsea was running with it and had her own playbook. But I think maybe it's time to take a playbook out of either Chelsea's or seeing what Becky and Lyra are doing to really do that. So I think, Julia, she's the reigning champ, and it's time to put a lot of oomph to this belt. I mean, I know there's Zelina, it's in there, and Chelsea, she's doing a program with Nikki Bella per se, but I think it's time to really think of what contenders that you want, not just for the Women's United States title, but also the Intercontinental title as well. I do think there is capable of it. Of course, we are seeing a lot of ladies take on side quest. Nia Jax, she's in NXT with Lash Legend, and who knows, maybe we'll see Lash Legend get a shot for either one of those mid-card title belts.
Oh, wow. Already. I mean, yeah, I can see it.
I said, you were not, oh yeah, I wasn't on last week. Yes, said Mercedes will be on Dynamite this week. They announced it on Collision last Thursday.
I thought Courtney had to collect herself.
Yes, she will be back on Dynamite this week with her 8 belts. But to me, I think she's still salty from her first loss. And I will talk more on that on Wednesday, because yeah, she's 8 belts, she's on top of the world, but I think she's still salty and pissed off that she suffered 1 loss. And also with the fact, with the woman that's going to face Toni Storm, she has a title shot before she gets her rematch. So I think the Mercedes is still salty.
My concern about all the weird wrestling fans was when she put out that
it doesn't matter, said she, even if she has 8 belts, she lost. She's still salty after that loss.
Said, don't get Courtney all world up.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, yeah, she has 8 belts, but she still lost. I think she's still salty. Well, I'll talk about more on that on Wednesday. But Christina, go back to your thought.
Oh, my thought that came up was when I think we had talked about it before, that tweet that she put out about who wants to be, looking to hire somebody to carry her belts. But then we also are talking about how weird wrestling fans are. So I'm like, I don't know if that was the best thing to put out, because someone might show up.
That's what
and be like, I'm here ready to carry your belt. Because I think you had said earlier, like, people just need to be themselves. Not everybody should be themselves.
I know. Yeah, I think that's what Dylan.
Some people are too weird.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that even like when we go to wrestling conventions, it's like, oh my goodness, even it's so odd. But I don't know. And even Saraya was there too on Friday. I mean, I was like, yeah, she was there, but I don't know. It's we shall see. I mean, if I were her, I would probably take somebody that's either a publicist or somebody that worked with a wrestler. Like, don't go on Twitter.
Don't put that on Twitter, because you're gonna have people showing up to God knows where you're at.
Yeah, and I don't want to
taking you up on the offer, thinking that you're serious.
Yeah, so, but yes, Mercedes Moné will be back on AEW Dynamite. And speaking of AEW, it has been announced on the New York Post. AEW Full Gear will be back in New Jersey at the Prudential Center Saturday, November 22nd.
Wow, did you set this up, Courtney? Did you?
I didn't set it up. Actually, it was announced today. It was announced today. It was big. It was one of the big news that came out of AEW. I mean, I don't know how frequently you watch AEW, Christina, but
not as frequent as I would like to. I will say, but I would like to more. There's just so much. We're just at a time of so much wrestling. I'm just trying to catch up with just my traditional Raw and SmackDown, because even those sometimes, and then you miss a week and now you got to catch up on 3 hours of one show, 2 hours of no show. I have to take like PTO just to catch up on wrestling. It's crazy.
I know it is crazy, but yes, both of that's true. We got the rest of it for 2025, because as we know, Forbidden Door will be in London, All Out will be in Toronto, Wrestle Dream will be in St. Louis, Full Gear is going to be back in New Jersey, and we're going to have World's End in Chicago. So, but your Timeless Elite's going to have a busy filled day calendar because I kind of want to go to this. So I have to work out a deal with Boss Lady because we're trying to get in. I mean, look, if WWE ain't doing post shows, I'm more than happy to
make our own post show.
Exactly. I'm more than happy to be in those media scrums because it was really fun being at Dynasty and got a question answered by my client, Tony Storm. So I wouldn't mind being at Full Gear for the press conference. So, but yeah, it's going to be back in the. Oh, yep, Cousin Ron. Yeah, we will be talking about WrestleCon in it shortly. But yeah, that's one of the big news of AEW. They will be back at the Garden State on Full Gear Saturday, November 22nd. But we got tonight. We got Monday Night Raw tonight from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Yes.
Coming up. Stay tuned. Is there going to be a watch along?
I don't know. I mean, you got to ask Seth. I don't know if the check has been cleared.
I don't. Check. Seth only gets up if the check is cleared by 8 a.m. If the check is not cleared by 8 a.m.
I mean, if you're not going to get a watch along, you make it a post show.
Post show.
I can name 5 better Tonys. You are so not 5 better Tonys. Okay, you go ahead. You go ahead and do that. You go ahead and do that. I mean, maybe 5 Tonys. I mean, there's Tony Storm, Tony Khan, Tony
the Tiger.
I'm just trying to find other Tonys.
Tony the Tiger, Tony Roma's. Lord.
Oh God, but yeah, let's give this clip for Dylan. But yep, Monday Night Raw.
Back to Raw.
Yeah, Monday Night Raw will be in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. We'll continue the fallout after SummerSlam. We already know it's going to be Sheamus versus Rusev, 1-on-1. Again, these two are going to really put out a physical matchup, and we also going to continue the fallout for SummerSlam as courtesy of General Manager Adam Pearce. We're going to have an appearance of the new women's tag team champions Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. They will be in the house in Brooklyn, and we're also going to have an appearance.
Oopsie.
I guess I did an oopsie, but not only that, we're also going to see an appearance from Becky Lynch. Still, Intercontinental Championship match. So we're gonna see what she says next because now we know Lyra can't challenge her for the title. All this and more happening for SummerSlam. All this happening on Monday Night Raw on 8 p.m. on
while she cannot challenge. I'm stuck on the part while she's champion. There's some sort. Oh, and we have no watch along or post show until further notice. Thank you for letting us know.
Okay.
But, so we'll all be watching independently. And then we will commiserate on Wednesday.
Yes. And Christina, was there anything that stood out to you on Monday Night Raw that you want to see? Outside of Becky, of course.
Outside of Becky, I want to see, just waiting. I just want to know what type of foolery Seth is going to come out on. I want to see his gloating little self with his extravagant clothing. I just want to see what he's going to say.
Yeah, Seth, it's going to be very interesting with Seth. I just want to see CM Punk's reaction. Like, what's he going to be reacting?
Bless him. No, I don't.
Give him
some time to heal. God.
No, I think he's really going to be pissed off because as much as these two can't stand each other, I guarantee you these two are going to beat the crap out of each other. And I know people are itching for Seth versus Roman for WrestleMania next year. I could see Seth and CM Punk going at it next year.
Oh gosh, I wonder if they'll bring out Brock again. Hopefully not, but
I think it's going to be probably SmackDown. Yeah, SmackDown, because that'll be must-see TV. But yeah, I mean, CM Punk, he's probably still pissed off. Also, Gunther after he lost. Really curious on his reaction, and hopefully we get to see LA Knight back on TV.
I know. Wait, I'm behind in the things. Where is he?
Well, apparently after he had that physical with the Bronze and everything else. Well,
that's right.
actually,
that's the last time I saw him.
Yeah, and even on Saturday night's main event. I haven't seen him since.
Wonder if he's hurt, on vacation.
Well, we shall see.
Both.
Hopefully we get to see LA Knight soon, because I wouldn't mind seeing him back in the main event fold, whether it's SmackDown or Raw.
I miss him.
I know, I miss him too. But that's Monday Night Raw. And just a little quick recap, because I know we talked about SummerSlam this last week. Honey was in the building with her husband Pachu at SummerSlam. I was doing work for WrestleCon this past weekend. I will give an overall, it was a very nice experience being at WrestleCon. It was interesting. It was actually interesting because normally you go as a fan, but me, I had to work. It was very congested. The first day was congested because because they had top tier stars. Like you had Will Ospreay, Kazuchika Okada, Saraya, all in the same room, and the lines were long. Actually, Will Ospreay's line was basically long at the door.
Jesus.
It was very crazy. And even for that, it was weird how they did like vendor and media, because normally there's a section for media. And sometimes you kind of had to reel in and do it yourself in a way. So thankfully, I brought our business cards for WWT, because I told them I was a legit podcast. I wasn't making anything up.
We're not a weird fan that's making things up. Just
no, no, we're not. And I had the chance to interview Indy Hartwell. I was very happy to interview Indy because she didn't have nobody at her table, and she was well, she did, but like everybody wanted Zilla Fatu. Like he had a long line, and Indy.
I'm not gonna say that would have been me, but I would have also went to Indy.
And I had it, and it was really nice. The person that was booking her, she was very nice as well. I got to interview Indy for a bit. She was talking about her tenure at TNA, picking up a win against Tessa Blanchard, and it was really great. It was really great interviewing her. I had the chance to interact with a few wrestlers as well. Of course, Mark Henry, who was a friend of the podcast. He was very approachable. I got to see Jacqueline. She's familiar with our podcast. Thunder Rosa, Nyla Rose, they're familiar with that. I even had the chance to chat with Will Ospreay, even if it was for 2 minutes. And I told him who we were. And he was very...
He knows now. He knows.
Yes. He was very gracious of that as well. Also, with the fact I got to meet, I didn't meet Toni Storm, unfortunately, because she had a long line. So I didn't get to meet my client, but I met my other client, Anthony Bowens, because he didn't have anybody in his line. So I went over to him. I had the chance to talk with Mina Shirokana afterwards, and it was really great. I actually met one of my friends. He wanted to meet Mina. So he was really great to see that. I had the chance to chat with Deonna Purrazzo again, and Layla. She still looks good after all these years. She still looks young. They still look good. And I had the chance to talk to Harley Cameron.
Wow, you talk to everybody.
Yeah, because I told them who we were. I mean, this was legit. We're a legit podcast that focus on women's wrestling.
We're not just weird. Well, not all of us are not, or no. Not all of us are just weird fans.
No, we're not. Oh, and also I managed to score another interview with Francine. Yeah, Francine was very approachable, and I was very happy to do that because we had to wait till after the show was over. And I also got to meet Tekla, the newest star for AEW. So overall, it was a really great experience. Yeah, it was a really great experience, and also meeting other content creators as well, because it's really great opportunity.
I saw that. You saw what's his name?
Yes, the wrestling classic, Justin.
Yes, that was a big one.
It was. I didn't even recognize it was him, and I was like, "Oh, hey!" So me and him started talking, and then I got to meet Malcolm, the one that does the Waffle House order. I met him in person, so it was really nice. Yes, so it was really nice to have that experience, because for me, even though I didn't take a lot of photos, it was so nice just having conversations in person with some wrestlers I never would have expected. Like I didn't even expect I would chat 2 minutes with Will Ospreay. I did not expect that, but it was a really great experience, and they're going to come to Vegas next year. So hopefully we see some of the crew and get some content in, and we shall see. But yes, Cousin Ron, just to let you know, they did have a House of Glory show over the weekend, and Bully Ray is the new champion. he lost in controversial fashion because Ricochet came in. Ricochet interfered in the match. So but Zilla is getting his rematch at House of Glory in Philadelphia when they come to Philly. So,
and then speaking of Zilla, I don't know if you heard about that. There's some rumblings of beeflings.
Yes.
Goings-ons.
Yeah, unfortunately, big Rikishi about Zilla. It got so bad, even his own mother had to come in.
Oh, Mom, I am the way Mama Zilla goes for her son is unmatched and unparalleled. Let me see if I can have Mama Zilla defend me against just like anybody, and then I need Triple H to call me and give me like a pep talk in the morning like he does on Unreal. I feel like I'd be able to get through anything.
Yeah,
she goes hard.
Yeah, that is. But it was really fun. I was very happy. Like me and Honey, we did what we had to do. And plus, lots of stuff to come. Lots of stuff happening this year. But I think it's that time, Christina, because we got to get ready for Monday Night Raw.
Go eat a snack.
And where can the people find you?
People can find me. For the people, the great people, we tried, let me just tell you, to have a wow show today, but the stars were not aligned. Me and TK were sitting right here, and both of our Hulus were not working, so we tried. We're going to try again tomorrow on doing a wow watch along post show. We're also going to finally do a couple episodes of LFG, which I'm really excited about. And when the stars align on WWT Live. So right here. So I won't tell you when I'll be here. So you just have to tune into every single episode to see if I'm on there.
Well, the people can always find me chirping sporadically on WWT Live throughout the week whenever I can. Wednesdays are Timeless Elite Wednesdays, not CEO Wednesdays.
So I was going to say, I'm not going to say it again like I messed up last time when I said it.
No, it's not CEO. It's Timeless Elite Wednesday. So they are back on the road. They finished their residency in Chicago and just getting on the road to Forbidden Door. So make sure to hang Wednesday nights with me. It's going to be fun this week on Dynamite. Also, with the fact, make sure to follow at Courtney NJ11 on all my socials. I talked about my experience at WrestleCon this past weekend. And also my goal is to post both interviews with, Indy Hartwell and Francie before the end of this week. It'll be posted up on WWT socials as well. And it was really, really fun. Also, make sure to follow me because I got some other content because I'm also doing some stuff outside of the wrestling world because I finally get to dive in, not just PR stuff, but also getting back into pageantry and helping the good people in my community get back in. So yeah, just making useful.
I remember you and TK both did pageants. That's so cool. Yes. I love learning about it.
Y'all do work. She does come on the panels. She does be making sense. It's just her schedule, making sure she's aligned with her schedule.
Listen, the way my schedule is set up, and I just went back to school, so my schedule is even worse. But anyway, we're gonna make it happen.
But make sure to follow me at Cordelia J11 for all the content that is happening. And we also do want to thank everybody in the chat that joined us on Women's Wrestling Talk on this event.
Even said,
yes, we want to.
Even think said.
Yes, we do have to thank everybody. We got to thank MDB899, Cousin Ron, Boza. Our wonderful mayor said he'd be popping in the chat when he can. I do have to give a shout out to Ryan Winterhawk Armstrong. Lewis Johnson popped up for a little bit. Our producer from the future, we cannot forget about him because he'd be handling the back end. Maria, hopefully I don't miss anybody. Stay Curious came in for a little bit. War Hero 99. Making sure we do not forget everybody, but thank you for joining on this after SummerSlam edition of Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling network on the planet. Have a great evening and enjoy Monday night.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms. Like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpaw.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.